So this comes in from the 2024 draft. That would be wide receiver Jalen Polk. That's right. That was an Elliott Wolf pick. Jalen Polk.
It's either what are you doing or fireable offense. The reason I would argue fireable offense is he's basically lost his job because of it. He did get fired
because of this.
And he traded down out of the Ladd McConkey spot. So I would argue fireable offense, but if you think that's too strong.
Sold.
Okay, let's do it.
No, you traded out of the Ladd McConkey spot.
Thank you.
And now
it's not just that you missed, it's that the other guy was a stud away.
If you had Drake May, Ladd McConkey, like, now we're talking.
Right.
Promote that man.
Right.
Get that guy a job for life.
Instead, he literally got fired.
Yeah.
You're fired.
He's been reassigned.
He's out.
He's been reassigned.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. He's been reassigned, not fired. You're right.
All right, 2022. Cole Strange.
Okay, this one
Cole Strange.
This is, I would not argue personally fireable offense for me. I would argue, what are you doing? The whole league was going, what are you doing?
Yeah. Sean McVay laughed at you.
You were laughed at by the Rams. I wouldn't go fireable offense because I think there's another gear Bill could get to.
Yeah.
But I would say, what are you doing? We were all wondering what he was doing in real time. This one was predictable.
A guard out of Chattanooga in the first round seems like a joke.
It was aggressive.
It seems like a joke pick. And you're like, all right, now submit your real pick going forward. And he hasn't been very good. I know some would argue, like, well, he's been injured, like whatever. He's not been available. He's certainly not worth a first round pick. But I'm with you. I think you do need to separate between like the real busts. So he's one down. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Oh, what are we doing?
Same draft class in the second round. Tyquan Thornton.
Okay, this is the
tiniest
definition.
wrists in the history of the combine.
This is the definition of we saw it coming.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
I agree. There is a bit of a type. Now, Jalen Polk was so bad, he goes to fireable offense. But there's a list. Pretty much when they were drafting wide receivers or second-round corners, it was like, that guy's not going to work.
Yeah.
Maybe on another team, but not here.
Not here.
They're going to identify the wrong guy.
Every time they take a wide receiver, we'd go, well, this guy's probably not going to work out, and then it would happen. We saw it coming.
2021, Mac Jones.
All right, not to just keep working our way down the tiers, I would allow this one. And I really was not a fan of Mac Jones from when they drafted him.
You're going, we'll allow it?
I would allow it. They took a swing on a quarterback. Like, I'll allow for that whiff and make your case.
So it doesn't really fit we saw it coming because I think it is more the wideouts and the corners, but he was way overdrafted to the point where, like, he shouldn't have been a first-round pick. He was also the fifth quarterback off the board.
So you want to say, what are you doing?
I kind of...
But then what were they going to do? Start who? What were they going to do?
Jarrett Stidham, or more Cam Newton, maybe? No, all right. I'll go. Will allow.
I mean,
I'll go. Will allow.
As critical as I was of Mac, even I would allow for that one. You're taking a swing at a quarterback. It didn't work, but I'll allow it.
2019, N'Keal Harry,
fireable offense.
Fireable offense.
And this is hilarious because it was like my favorite pick of all time when they made it.
That's amazing.
I love N'Keal Harry.
Wow.
That was my pick in that draft that I wanted them to get. They got it. I celebrated like a wild man on the air. And I was as wrong as I've been on anybody this side of Nikola Jokic, but that is a fireable offense in retrospect.
So bad.
You can fire me and Bill.
It's also because of the timing, and it's like you're trying to keep Tom Brady happy, and then you throw the guy can't play at all. He's just an absolute bum.
You're fired.
Same draft class, second round, and he probably got a lot of pressure taken off of him because N'Keal Harry was so bad, and all those great receivers were drafted right after N'Keal Harry. But don't sleep on Jawan Williams.
No, I wouldn't.
The big corner.
We saw it coming. When they're, again, day two corners, not that hard to predict this one. We saw this one.
No, I would agree with you on that one. All right, next guy, we have Isaiah Wynn from 2018.
Okay, should we talk about these guys in tandem or separately?
Go ahead, throw them both in there.
Okay, Isaiah Wynn and Sony Michel were the same draft. The only reason I'd consider talking about them in tandem is because Bill in his book just said
he wishes he had Lamar.
This is one of his two regrets.
He's only got two regrets in life.
That's it.
Yeah.
It wasn't benching Malcolm Butler. It wasn't running Tom Brady out of town.
No.
It wasn't hiring all his children and everybody else's kids from his buddy. No. It was not getting Lamar here, and it was not kicking a field goal with Gostkowski in 2007. Those were his two big regrets. So I think Wynn was more regrettable than Sony Michel just because he was so bad. I think, honestly, both of these I would allow for, and I'm surprised Bill had such a regret because they missed out on Lamar. Would you put it higher?
So, no, because when you're looking at the rest of the list, I think passing up on Lamar is one thing, but then also the timing, like how would that have worked out?
Right.
That would have been 1 year sooner for Bill to get rid of Brady, so that one's tough. Sony Michel, and I know it was, more offensive line and just the opponents, but Sony Michel at least had a good run and was helpful in that last Super Bowl.
Two-time Super Bowl champ.
And Wynn... I don't know. He was obviously not great, but compared to some of the other guys on this list, I'll put it in will allow it.
I honestly would allow for both. Maybe you think that's too soft.
Those
were needs on championship caliber teams. Michelle helped you win. You could argue Wynn did as well. I would put those on the will allow it.
All right. What about in the same draft class, Duke Dawson?
Yeah, we saw it coming.
Yeah, I mean that was brutal.
Bill,
second round corners.
Did he make it into year 2?
I don't even know if he did.
I think he might have made it into camp and then got cut or traded. I don't even remember which one. That was one of the shortest tenures out of any high draft pick.
Well, I'll introduce you to another one. 2016, Cyrus Jones.
Okay, is this we saw it coming, or is this a higher? This might be a higher level, Keefe.
What are we doing? I don't think it's fireable offense because it's second round.
They drafted him basically as a punt returner, and he couldn't catch punts.
Couldn't catch punts.
I mean,
Clampington is the nickname he gave himself, I believe. Couldn't cover anybody. Couldn't catch punts.
Didn't realize that.
You want to say, but I don't know. Our second round picks fireable offenses.
Okay, fair.
Although we do a polk up there.
Fair. It wasn't.
We do a polk up there.
Yeah, but that's a special one.
I think it's we saw it coming.
Okay, we saw it coming.
I think it's we saw it coming.
Fine.
Just because it kind of fits the theme. 2015 first round pick Malcolm Brown. I think it's a will allow it.
That's where I would put it.
I remember getting into an
argument. He's just such a forgettable player.
I remember getting in an argument with somebody because I lumped him in as a bust, and they were like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "This guy they drafted in the first round, played sparingly for 4 years, then left, and nobody said a word. Nobody said a word. How come they didn't re-sign him? It was just he played here for his rookie deal and left. It's if your first round pick leaves and nobody even mentions it, how good was he?
Very forgettable player. That was one of those that got reported as the Patriots traded the pick, and then they actually made the selection.
Correct.
Because they were surprised he got there. Yeah, I'll allow for that.
Same class, Jordan Richards.
Oh, that's a what are we doing?
Oh.
You saw Jordan Richards coming? I thought Richards.
No, safety.
I guess
you're right, not a corner.
Safety.
What are you doing is good because everybody was like, why would you even?
They're like, you're a college captain. We're going to take you highly. What are you doing?
Oh, what are we doing?
Thank you.
All right, 2014 first round pick Dominique Easley.
I want to hear you answer this because I think you're more down on this than I am.
I would say fireable offense.
Okay.
Because he had injury issues coming out. You used a first round pick on him, and he was awful. Couldn't play.
At the time, it was, Bill started racking these up later on in his drafting tenure, but at the time, it was one of the real. We'll get to another name coming up. One of the real first-round misses.
True, because he used to hit on every first rounder.
Yeah,
right?
for a long time you could say that. So fine, let's go fireball offense.
You're fired.
2013 Aaron Dobson. Your guy, Aaron Dropson.
I called him Alshon Dobson at the time. I was hoping he was Alshon Jeffrey.
He was not.
Which, in retrospect, what a joke of a thing to even want. If you taken him. If it was Alshon Jeffrey, you'd be like, eh.
I think he's a
predictable.
We saw it coming.
Yes,
we saw it coming.
Exactly.
2012 Tavon Wilson.
I would put him the same place we put Jordan Richards.
Same.
Which is, what are you doing?
100%.
No one was this the guy they didn't even have tape on, or was this a different guy?
It was Richards and Wilson. I feel like in back-to-back drafts, it was, and not that these guys are the be-all, end-all, but they prepare for a million guys on these draft shows. And it was Todd McShay and Mel Kiper were turning over their paper,
like who
under the desk. They're like, yeah. We don't have tape on this guy.
And Bill was getting off on that
somewhere.
He's like, they don't even know who this is. I took him in the second round.
I'm the man.
That's a what are we doing?
What are we doing?
2011 first pick, I believe, of the second round was Ross I. Dowling.
So
Ross I.R. Dowling.
They didn't trade the pick. I remember being very critical of that at the time. They were top of the board. This is when they started splitting up the draft into different days. And so you had a lot of time to really field trade calls. And they took a guy this is very similar. It's a second rounder as opposed to a first rounder.
Right.
Very similar to Dominique Easley.
He was hurt in high school and in college. I remember I think I was doing a draft show that night. Actually, I think me and Wiggy were doing a draft show together at the other place. And I remember when they drafted him and we're looking it up.
Fireball? I think it's the worst. It's him or Cyrus Jones are the worst corner pick. I think that's even beyond
and Dowling was even higher. Dowling was the first pick of the second round. So yeah, I'll put it fireball offense.
You're fired.
Terrence Wheatley. I feel like that's what we saw
that's
coming.
Easy. We saw that coming
because that was a second round pick, but he obviously couldn't play either. Lawrence Maroney in 2006. He was the starting tailback on the 07 team.
He was. You could go, what are you doing here? I personally would allow it. Maybe I have a blind spot for running backs, so if you want to throw that in my face, go for it. I personally would allow this. They were trying to find the successor to Corey Dillon. They took a swing on it. It didn't work. No one's saying it worked.
No, it didn't work. But he
I'll allow it.
Early on in his time, there were obviously a couple of tight ends that they drafted, but for the most part, they went a lot of defense. Right, where there's Seymour, Will Fork, Warren. You're a lot of defense. So for them to take a swing, I was all right.
And they doubled down.
They did. Chad Jackson.
So again, is this we saw? I don't even know if we saw it coming at the time. This might be higher.
What are we doing? No, fireable offense, Chad Jackson.
I would
they did
say,
trade up.
And they missed out on who? It was Greg Jennings and I thought another receiver in that draft who went sort of in that same
Greg Jennings
tier.
was like right after.
I would maybe go, I'm not sure it was quite fireable.
All right, you want to go Chad Jackson there?
Maybe what are we doing? That was worse than just your run-of-the-mill wide receiver bust.
All right, Bethel Johnson in 2003.
I personally allow for that one.
You'll allow Bethel Johnson?
I still kind of believe Bethel Johnson.
He's not any good.
He
had like a one kick return.
I still kind of believe he should have worked out. Where would you put it?
I would say, so it doesn't make a lot of sense, but this was sort of the beginning of they can't draft receivers.
So,
right, because Deion Branch, I believe, was the year before, which they hit.
We saw it coming?
Yeah, I think he's sort of like the first one.
I could be talked into that.
And then lastly, the first pick of the Bill Belichick era, Adrian Clem.
The original draft bust.
He was a second rounder, so he wasn't a first rounder, but stunk.
Allow it?
Yeah.
Where does he go?
Probably will allow it. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Fireable offense for the worst Patriots draft bust since 2000. Jalen Polk, N'Keal Harry, Dominique Easley, Rossai Dowling.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, horrible, but pretty good list there, yeah.
What are you doing? Cole Strange, Jordan Richards, Tavon Wilson, Chad Jackson.
Strong.
We saw it coming. Tyquan Thornton, Jawan Williams, Duke Dawson, Cyrus Jones, Aaron Dobson, Terrence Wheatley, Bethel Johnson.
When you lay it out that way, it's like, Bill, why did you keep taking kicks? Just stop.
Stop it.
We all saw these coming.
Yeah.
Stop.
And then we'll allow it. Mac Jones, Isaiah Wynn, Sonny Michel, Malcolm Brown, Lawrence Maroney, Adrian Clem.
Okay, so you were initially hesitant as to where we put Mac Jones. You feel better about it now that you've seen all the tiers?
Yeah,
or you think he's still too low?
No, I think they desperately needed a quarterback. In year one, he actually looked like a halfway decent quarterback. So no, I think compared to those other guys, that's probably fair.